The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 13 urges all nations to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. In Ghana, impact of climate change is much more present in northern sector of the country where the poorest live. The effect of climate change on the livelihoods of the people, most of whom subsistence farmers making do with erratic rainfall pattern, has rendered them even poorer. In spite of successive government and non-government actors' efforts at addressing the predicament, a lot more need to be done. To complement these efforts, OXFAM in Ghana has initiated a project called Climate Resilient Agriculture and Food Systems, Crafs. The overall aim of the project is to contribute to the fight against poverty and the negative effects of climate change by enhancing the livelihood security and capacity for community-based adaptation measures for the most vulnerable in northern Ghana.
The focus of the Crafts project is to sensitize communities, to draw attention to the effects of climate change and variability at the local level, and to learn with them and see what adaptive mechanisms they are using themselves, and also share what practices have worked in other locations.
The project is implemented in 20 communities across 4 districts located in the 3 northern regions of Ghana through active local partner non-governmental organizations. The partners are Nandridep and Pronet in Nadoli and Nandom districts, respectively, in the Upper West region. The rest are Pasgaru in the Garu Timpane district of the Upper East region and Parid in the East Mampusri district of the Northern region, whilst collaborating with the relevant state actors like the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, among others.
Our work covers water and sanitation, education, especially for girls, women's empowerment, food security, and more recently, climate adaptation. And that is the reason why we are an active partner with OXFAM on the Climate Resilient Agriculture and Food Systems project that we usually refer to as Crafts project.
The mission of the Agri Station is to promote equitable food and income security. So the objectives of Crafts ties in very well with our own mandate to deliver to the people.
We mobilize resources to support communities because government alone cannot do it. And so that is how we came into partnership with OXFAM, because OXFAM also works for the vulnerable people.
The main reason for the introduction of this project into the Nandam district was the fact that climate change ramifications were too obvious that beneficiaries within these communities were actually suffering. And for that matter, the Crafts project was introduced to help fight against climate change within the Nandam district.
A total of 4,500 households from poor and vulnerable communities directly benefited from the awareness raising and climate adaptive livelihood activities supported by the project, with 70% of the beneficiaries being women.
Some intervention areas that were introduced by this project include the participatory capacity vulnerability analysis of the various communities, where communities' problems needs assessment was done. We also identified the various disasters that exist within the communities and then the timelines that these disasters occur. Then we try to see what are the resources that the people are having and can possibly address some of these issues.
The OXFAM's approach to community-based climate change adaptation and risk reduction initiative in the north of Ghana provides practical insights on building adaptive capacity and resilience for women small-scale producers in a changing climate. Significant to the approach is building on and securing the natural resource base upon which people's livelihoods depend, and is done within the broader framework of women economic empowerment in agriculture.
And so for Crafts, it is a multi-stakeholder intervention. So we work with the District Assembly, we work with the Department of Agriculture, We also work with the Ghana Education Service.
An important source of income and coping mechanism for the beneficiaries is beekeeping. The beehives are not just for beekeeping and sources of income, but also for curbing bush burning, which has been a menace to farming, the main source of the people's livelihoods.
In terms of the beekeeping, there used not to be any structured way. I mean, it was not really seen as a form of business, and very few people were into it, and those who were even into it were mainly men.
I am climate, and the changes in me have been caused by human activities. Human activities have caused me to change in different ways. I lose my strength when human being burn bushes. I lose my strength when
To directly address the negative effects of climate change, the project also engaged the youth by forming what it termed climate smart clubs in basic and senior high schools across its catchment areas.
If you go to the public and you want to educate your younger ones, some of the courses that you will want to introduce to your younger ones so that they could be cautious of them. What are they? Yes. Cutting down of trees, yes. Bush burning.
Another cause of climate change is the bad farming practices of farmers. That is, some people farm near water bodies and during fertilizer application. So when the rain falls, you see that some of the chemicals are washed into these river bodies and affecting plant life and as a whole the climate as well.
Climate Smart Club.
Protecting our environment.
Climate Smart Club.
Our environment, our heritage.
As part of our activities, we do tell our colleague students on the effect of cutting down trees, especially if you move to the guest hostel, you see that the place is very bare, the land is very bare. They have cut down a lot of trees, which when it is Harmattan season, we're not always having it easy over there.
As a club, we have a lot of activities that we have designed as part of the background proposal that was given, among which we have tree planting as one, we have public education as two, we also have what we call quizzes competition, we also do poetry recital competitions, and these poems are developed around climate change issues so that in the various communities, when these poems are recited, people get a signal that climate change is actually real. Apart from this, they also go to radio to do public education. We have community forums where we go around to sensitize the community people about the impact of climate change.
When you go out, what will you do to prevent climate change? When we go out, we should avoid bush burning. When we go out, we should avoid cutting down of trees. We teach our colleagues not to burn bush because if they burn bush, we will not get grass to roof our rooms.
Not long ago, we participated in a program organized by some students from the University of Legon, at Environmental Studies Department. We were 8 groups. So at the end of the competition, we were first with about 77 points. We learned that if the cutting down of trees is not stopped, then it means that rainfall is reduced, which we are experiencing here. We can actually see that the dry season is prolonged in this part of the country, especially here. So that was one of the effects that we could clearly see, and then we could also see that the fertility of the land too was reduced, and then crop production too, and then this is reduced greatly, and then it affects our parents economically. Some of us are not able to do well in school because they are not able to take care of us and buying some of the things we need due to poor yield of the crops at the house.
Village Savings and Loans Associations or VSLAs were also formed to serve as a source of loans for the people whom otherwise would not have been able to have access to any bank, so as to engage in or enhance their income-generating activities, and it has indeed been beneficial to them and their families.
I'm part of a VSLA group called Tiakandi. Initially, before the start of this project, I used to build pito, and when I build a pito, any money that comes, I spend it. I don't think of saving anything for any future use. Later, when the project came and they supported us with a VSLA box, my friends first joined. Later on, I saw that it was important that I also join. I joined, and whenever I build my pito and I get any interest out of it, I bring part of it to save in the VSLA box. And I have been able to save until about last 2 weeks when we did the share out. We did the share out. I used that money to invest in my business of pito brewing that I've been doing, and it has been of much help to me. I can't see well, but when I saw that they brought this VSLA concept to our community, I was happy, and so I decided to join, such that I will not be spending the little monies I get by hand. So I started contributing to the box. Anytime they are sitting, I get something to come and contribute. When they were picking loans, I also decided to pick a loan to start something, but what I used to start, I couldn't take to the end. I couldn't get any profit from it, but I tried my best and paid back the loan. When they shared out the monies, I didn't have anything to sleep on, so I decided to use my money to buy a mat where I can lay my head. Apart from that, I've been weaving these locally made doors, which I sell, and I bring the proceeds to mark the box every week. The help this project has been to me is that at first, when my child comes for school fees, I have to go out to borrow money from somebody. But now when my child comes for school fees, at least I can also dip my hand in my pocket and find money for him.
Tunda be tunga ka adaka biso da na be tunga ma tradir wahala ndadir wahala pam man dadir wahala shiama ndai dirai mu makancan ke so dun bola afunu kantarma ama popo adaka bisma wa kenan ke tin nyaka amfani dama dra muksma pam yungu mbi ala fiya kancan pa ba ka bayi silga ba dole ashitune kancan ka bayi sila afantama kancan do ashituma mo nyaka amfani shianla zugun pusur pare dum.
Women here don't have livestock, so the project introduced livestock to them, and some of them, their livestock are farrowed, and that is what they use to cater for their school children, support the family, to feed, and other things. Others were taught how to make soap. In fact, different types of soap. We have liquid soap, we have all types of diversified soap. Women are now doing it. They are manufacturing this in the villages and selling. Some are doing donuts for their community members. Some even sell in Garu. So the project has made alive a lot of people that would otherwise be dead.
They gave me 2 goats, and that 2 goats grew up to 7. They came, and then I gave them 2 to pass it on to another farmer. The remaining 5, I sold 1 to buy fertilizer for my maize farm. The remaining 4 also delivered and grew up to 10. So currently I have 10 goats, and I'm very glad and happy to thank the project team for what they have done for me.
We were giving goats 2 each. I brought my own. It is about 1.5 years now. They have littered. I have a total of 6 goats now. I'm hopeful that when Nadede finally takes out the 2, pass on, the remaining ones that will be left, I can sell them to be able to take care of my children that are going to school. I'm at peace with myself, and I'm also using the droppings from these goats for my farm, and my crop yield has not been bad.
Lankerne buffalo ne kibona mal wosa kara kane ka ba gang te kenge zamsto ba mala mandol kenga mangang buffalo la ka bazam sete dabai man yi ni na kulala wena am songol mene nyang dol se mal kariye man ni yer bie la kana kamyeta tese na korme songor men yel bang lo pogon mpamre ne mer maneka ka darum zet ka seme ya pamene nyangre nyeta ni bie le nyangre me kuri kawena pamer zod biela de serem tarmna anziela more bi sawai kam ya sa yi bem tu de wan tobi ne tu yubi da ne ya sala te fa go se to mala la aso zam se kan ka me zam se ka te me pa me me mukur ka do zire de suela nte se le tabra azin ka po moto kan ane wala la tiri ki ka fa go ngene ki la ba me ken kuose ken nem ze ka ken nem mane ka karazin re de te mporiera fo me ngere si la fo motarmna fo ngela re si monna fo tamna mon para sel ka fo mon wa ka gmer ko de ka som te som tom kan ken la mten se le lo on songo te pa le monyor nda ane ba
I was a farmer who didn't have any work apart from my farming activity. This project came and they trained me how to make the soap, and the soap is all year round. Whatever I get, it supports my family. I'm a widow and I have 4 children. Before the project came, I didn't have anything to take care of my children. So I have to let 2 of them to go to Kumasi. But now this thing has come and I have to now call them to come and support, because it is a work that I can generate money to support the whole family. This project that we have embarked on, every 3 days is Garu market. I can make up to 150 Ghana cedis. I want to thank the Presby Agri Station for bringing me this opportunity, and that is helping my family.
I learned how to make this ointment. I used to sit down and there was a lot of troubles for me, like taking care of the family. But since I learned how to do it, I'm able to sell and get interest on it, which I used to buy my children's school uniform and also to take care of their feeding and other stuff in the house.
We have also been able to introduce drought-tolerant varieties, maize, and even granule that was extinct. This project has brought back granules, and farmers are very happy about it.
It is obvious that the number of farmers that we have within the Nandam district are more than the extension workers that are there. So these people are trained from the demo field. They replicate those knowledge in their fields and also teach other people how to use these improved technologies that we introduce to them at the field level.
Before the training, whenever we cultivate our granules per an acre, we usually harvest like 2 bags. But after the training, we harvest up to 5 bags. That's per an acre with granules. But the sorghum, before the training, we harvest 3 bags per an acre. But what they taught us and we implemented in our farms, now we harvest up to 7 or 8 bags per an acre. Now, because we get bumper harvest, we are able to enlarge our farms by using the tractor and then also taking labor to help us in our farm activities. And the surplus we sell, and that's why we used to pay our children's school fees and renew their health insurance.
You mata dona ka morka wen boda na temba mbodia menya ya mesongum taba kalken ni piga yela den lempesa yi anayale dam saka ba kana me temba dam sa songum pa wen bo sisiem fo ya len dole sisiem ya ken wale ko mol yi palo fo ya mo du buntu gra bi da len siakate fo ya pie na sa le me po sobo to tim po sere ya barka ne usa fa sungre bobo ne len ka sungre sung kan on le game ni pa tim po sere ya barka ne so ti bandari to but suma la pa si mo na bara le pa yuma ayubo na mo na ba pompelen but suma ti banda mo suma na kam paso gos tena mara but suma la nya ne sunga din len kana le ayam pa la ka zam sanina ana kawen la te dai te di se gme se te bugni me digin
ka wena la guna ni ama na na te belen gwe de digna la to yon se be bugul mane ka bodu ka wen la me bot yemba ti na zam yam pal kana ka te zang ane na te na yon se be bugul ma ka digna te ya digla la saya ni le kolen uruga li te ka wena la do ane sunga ti te pos ba barka ne ban biksite yam kangala.
Activities by the project to help the people cope with the negative effects of climate change and to ensure all year-round food security include training the beneficiaries on efficient energy-saving stove, tree nursing, and promotion of dry season farming.
They have supported us with a lot of things, including this onion seed that they have given to us. It enables us to be able to engage ourselves during the dry season, for us to also make some money and support our children to go to school. There are some people in the community who are doing trading. Not all of us know how to do trading, but for the dry season garden, we know how to do it. And we don't know how we're even going to thank Presby Agri Station for all the support that they have given to us, including even the livestock that they have given to us.
Ka agris te se dem kena songote ka tem bisa kam dari ekuyoma ka yanga yisere letela degel kana ko dona mal bora te mal bora m kolenda ze bisikua mya yu yem kwa nokora men bona ku den kweren kam man ku se senta.
Before the start of the Crafs project, we were already into dry season gardening, I and my husband. Most of the times when we buy fertilizer and come and apply, we end up burning the things and we end up spending so much on our garden, and at the end of the day, we don't get anything. But since the start of the project, ProNet have come to help us, taught us how to nurse the seedlings. They brought us seedlings of lettuce and of onions. They taught us how to nurse those seedlings and how to transplant them. They also taught us how to make manure, and it was that manure that we made and applied on our tomato seedlings, and we were able to harvest a lot from the tomatoes. Now we have transplanted our lettuce, and last week we just harvested a little, and we had about 30 CDs out of that. And we think that all what they have taught us has been of much help to us. They also taught us how to do what they call manure tea. And when we apply on it, it doesn't destroy our crops. We don't buy fertilizer anymore to apply onto our gardens. And the project has been of immense help to us. And so we pray that they continue to help us in that regard.
So tell the video man to yin can ban to about one that see market. Nyan kana that yes some kuma. Kan the bataga living anzila can namanga. Chenya bulubanga katona yile be yaga kurama and mandia kai some yakuma.
We decided that the vegetation cover was so low, and then as part of enhancing the vegetative cover and also ensuring that women do not depend solely on the natural vegetation that is in existence, we decided to introduce the one man, one tree concept, where you cut a tree, then you plant three. And for that matter, every individual is entitled to plant a tree a year.
Meeting poor, I told you was it. I love one abibi, and I soon been a bed permit potty.
I let it in a cellar son tenor. Tenaton of one cell, I love a barn, but I would do quite beat it. Naton of one cell, but I'm a child that a day. Take quarter now minute. The dinner minute quarter at one low at the dowly susu. I could not but it all day and not to wear a poor as soon as
most of our households depend on the wood from the forest. They cut the trees and use as fuel wood. And so this improved stove is intended to make maximum use of heat. And so we believe that less and less fuel will now be used by households, and thereby would reduce the rate of the cutting of trees in the forest.
To da paro atan ama e ko zan da gama yin nan nzan du konto papa ma ke pon dugu bon jidugo da man kanyo se tanda ma da an ma tre zan da wa mun ne amma ka bugum ko jiren ginna da babira ka yam nan ginna da yam nan ginma anda ta wahala kamar nyusu
o kon kenga no zigi kai no yora kai kana rigin ka par ko ombor sun kana andam sana apiarele.
We have also been having radio discussions where we sensitize people on post-harvest losses management. We also teach people how to do applications of fertilizer. We also teach people how to prevent their bushes from being burned. We introduce to them some of the improved agronomic practices that they can do to increase their crop yield within their various families. Besides this, we also have what we call the gender model family, that we try to see to it that couples are able to cohabitate. And then we know that when there is unity among couples, then the family is relatively peaceful. Once it's peaceful, then they are able to go about their normal daily activities with ease.
Also, when any adome ulawa ida, ome pere sawa, yiti chorgadi, echeni idarwane, ome danzia. Ome som bie ko kome so da song ne ton kansa mane ulti song ne na chere ni oti song ne dada echeti na wachena mbiti na asong ho pa ba na ganle o song ne ni pa
a training ana wati wachena training na chemingana no ba me jaga e po pele ne jaga because a first time in serse de betis na dion ziemi te sawa inkunyo so azie wa so mani abibi yon tawra ka de kwenza na beka ba de balo mete kuye mena so me vena yan intetiero wala wa kuya ba fanya na informe sauna acha pampar ngati na wache na training na wa enda ko mwazire insire ba cha yire yon wala wa yuda de me yidane dane ela by ses ubendion tun so me yel chanchan pili abibi yele a first na be che na training na bibile gba o yel beka ba yan acha pampana nga o minga meto na sum so abie ko a champion gba no ma you dress for school chenu o meto na paga bie asom yina school eche imlele tone atomi amena so impo pele ne yaga ni a training na tina chenti de awane a vena ma aminga me change na ozie bunu so mi agba yara za important so la yake yaro no yara za insu mi ira eche ngati za no change de training wa ende atekpa no mena epupi alo ya ko
na atama na atulan kwa miti bunna yuwa.
Before this model gender training, I used to be outside. I don't come to the house often to assist my wife. But when we had this training, most often I'm always found in the house helping my wife, cooking. Sometimes I go to the farm, bring firewood. I even help bath the children. And since then, I have never had any quarrel with my wife.
The implementation of the Crafs project by OXFAM in Ghana and its partners, like many other poverty alleviating initiatives, has not been without challenges.
In terms of challenges, we've not had too many challenges, but a key one is that we suffered recently was following the elections in 2016. There has been a change in the administration. So the head of the administration, the district chief executive, the district coordinating director, new people came in, and so it took us a while to brief the new crop about what is going on.
We have done all these processes with the community. They have sent their grievances through their community action plans. They have promised them. They have been kept. Some of these issues have been captured in the medium-term development plans, but it's like they are still waiting. So how long can they wait?
Sometimes in the dry season, community members are busy with other funerals and other social gatherings. That also slow down implementation. And of course, we wish that we could carry this in many more communities, but the funding was limited.
The methodologies we are adapting are not completely foreign. They are not methodologies that have been imposed on the people. These are strategies that have been discussed. We have strengthened some good practices as in the community, as well as introduce technology that come from similar communities. And so that community to community exchange and familiarity with some of the technology is what gives us all comfort that the future of crafts, the sustainability is very, very high.
The collaboration, they don't do anything without us. So we have also now come out to whatever activity, especially the climate change issues. We are collaborating with them. We are taking it to the medium-term development planning. So if they fade out, but it will be part of our activities for the medium-term development plan.
So our capacity has been built. I think that we are very happy, and even though the program is ending, we will continue as a station. We will continue to promote adaptation in communities. We will continue to promote drought-tolerant varieties, and we will continue to work hard so that people will get enough to eat and to be better.
We believe that even if we are not there, but sustainability of many of the activities, for instance, the school class, that the EPA people are ready to adapt. ASA people are also ready to adapt. We have what we call the climate change platform in Nandom. They are also trying to adapt some of these concepts, for instance, the non-burning of bushes and those things. So we believe strongly that even if Crafs should face off, but these interventions that it has left behind will continue to exist in the communities.
A lot of the bee farming, the beekeeping, the hives, these are things that will live beyond the project period. And we are very, very hopeful that these will be very, very good sustainability issues. And I'm happy to announce that the District Assembly has actually adapted the beekeeping model and have packaged a proposal to try and source funding. And we are doing that as well with the UNDP climate facilities.
Implementation of the Climate Resilient Agriculture and Food Systems project by OXFAM in Ghana and its partners has indeed contributed to the fight against poverty and the negative effects of climate change. The people's livelihood security and capacity of community-based adaptation measures for the most vulnerable in the 3 northern regions of Ghana have indeed been enhanced.
The project has introduced a lot of things, giving livestock to women, training some women on how to make compost, giving seeds to women, and a lot of things that they have provided in this community. It has helped the community. For those who do farm and they don't get, now with the use of the compost, you use 1 acre and then you can get up to 20 bags of maize. And a lot of women now have their own animals, they have money, and they know how to do their businesses. And it has brought a lot of enlightenment to this community. I'm very grateful to what OXFAM has done for us.